It's more important than ever that marketers are able to adapt. We actually published earlier this year our annual marketing report, and one of the things that came out very strongly is that people need to be able to adapt far quicker than they ever have. The changes in the consumer, if you think about today with recession and inflation, things are changing dramatically, and so people really need to understand how to respond quickly, as real time as possible. And what we found is there really were two overarching issues for marketers. One is data and the ability to have good data to make good decisions. And then the second one is really the focus on brand in addition to acquisition. And historically, marketers really focused on acquisition first. And what we saw in the study this year, which was the first time we did a global study, is that brand and acquisition are really much more integrated than they have been in the past. And there's much more synergistic leverage between those two. And so being able to look at the data quickly, understand real time how consumers are behaving, and then apply that to through the lens of both brand and acquisition is more important than ever.
So you talked about consumers and their changes. They're everywhere, jumping between devices, viewing content on multiple devices at once. This presents a really nice opportunity for them to reach them where they are, but that's easier said than done. So what's at stake if brands aren't thinking about that full consumer journey across all the platforms and all the channels?
Yeah, historically, it was sufficient to measure a consumer's behavior in any one channel and across any one platform. But now consumers, as you said, are moving across every device, every platform, streaming, linear, audio, all sometimes simultaneously, and it's really important to understand a consumer only has 24 hours a day. How are they really spending their time? And so looking full funnel, everywhere through the funnel, as well as across platform, and being able to really dedupe that to the individual level is critically important. So it's important to have big data to be able to look at all of the interactions that are taking place, but ultimately, what is the one thing that is getting the consumer to engage and to act? And ultimately, that's the most important.
So you did talk about consumers and measurement. Given the focus on equity and inclusion, how do we ensure that the full breadth or the full diaspora of consumers are actually measured?
Yeah, we are the most diverse we've ever been, and we'll continue to be more diverse. And one of the most important things to Nielsen is making sure that every voice is counted, whether it's in content or in advertising. And so we augment big data with panels, and those panels are really 100,000 individual consumers. And that lets us know that we're not letting anyone escape, right? That we've got everybody captured, we understand the behavior really at an individual level, and make sure we validate the big data. And it's so important because so many of our consumers are, again, engaging in so many diverse activities that we want to make sure all are included.
Last but not least, we are among global marketers here at Cannes this week. What advice do you have for sort of brands and advertisers across the world to stay competitive and drive outcomes?
Yeah, the single biggest thing for any marketer today is having access to good data. We know that 3/4 of marketers feel that there's accessibility to good data, but only 1/4 of them are actually confident about the data that they have. So it's a little bit of the garbage in, garbage out, quality in, quality out. I would say the single biggest thing for marketers, make sure you're relying on quality data, and that's a mix, as we've talked about, of quantity, which comes from big data, and quality, which really comes from the individual side. And we're really happy because Nielsen One is our new platform. It allows you to look cross-platform, to dedupe across those platforms, and really to be able to, for the first time, link that to outcomes as well. And so people not only know what people are engaging in and seeing, but really what the actions are that they're taking that drive ROI.